Good morning, good morning. Welcome to Hidden Hollow Homestead. It's a beautiful day out here on the property, and I'd show you that outside, but we have an advisory today. So living in this valley that we're in Oklahoma, we just get a ton of wind sometimes. So I don't know that I'll actually be able to film anything outside that you can hear. I'm going to do some voiceovers, but had a heck of a week. My Explorer blew up on the way to work on Monday, so I've got it here in the shop right now, trying to put some intake manifold gaskets in it, and hopefully that'll get us back on the road with that. Not super optimistic about it, but it's hopeful. So we're going to try that first before we try anything else. My wife is planting her, or starting her onions and tomatoes, I think it is, for the greenhouse. So she filmed some stuff. I'll show you all for that right now. And then we got a bunch of little projects today. We got Jerky moved again because he's got all the ground tore up under his pen. I've got to work on the gate a little bit because the pole holding up one side of it has broke loose from the concrete. And we got a bunch of weather that's coming next couple of days, so I'm not going to be able to get out there and reconcrete it, nor do I have a tractor here right now I can lift up those giant telephone poles with to reset it anyway. So I've got that going on, and I don't know what else. I think we got a grocery shop, and we got a couple other little odds and ends to do around here today. And I kind of like to get things laid out for a greenhouse that I want to build, and we'll talk about that when we get over to it. But hey, so I have decided I'm going to go ahead and start working on getting this channel transitioned over to Hidden Hollow Homestead from Rambling Redhead, because if you, I'm sure you have, search for Rambling Redhead on YouTube, you find another channel. You have to dig quite a bit to find this channel or add tags to find this channel. So I'm going to hop over to Hidden Hollow Homestead, which is what we call this place, and so I'll be starting to process of changing everything over to that, so that'll be cool. But right now I'm going to go get back underneath this Explorer and see if I can't finish getting spark plugs in here and get intake manifold back on it, and hopefully get it back on the road so I can use this to move the pig instead of the Suburban because it's smaller. But yeah, I'll pick y'all back up here in a little bit and we'll see how it goes. Alright, well, unfortunately it looks like the Explorer might be dead. It got it to crank over and start briefly, then it won't start again, and it's pumping every ounce of water in the thing out every time the motor turns over. So I'm going to probably assume that means there's a crack in the block or the head or both. And so at bare minimum, we're talking about a head gasket job. Oh, yeah, you can see I'm dirty as heck, but you know, talking about $1,000+ for me to do a head gasket job on that thing and just parts. That's hard to do on a 250,000 mile vehicle that's been poorly maintained. So I don't know, we'll see what we do there. Probably end up having to track down a new vehicle, get this van running and do something. But as soon as we finished, did have a couple other things I'd do real quick. I go up to the front pasture and we have a soil temperature tester. This little guy from Amazon, nothing crazy. I think it was like $17. Measure the soil temperature because we want to get some trees planted in that front pasture this year, some fruit trees, and you got to have the, I don't know what the temperature is. I think the ground has to be in the 50s to start planting those. So it's not quite there yet, 44 degrees right now, but we're supposed to get a cold snap next week. So we'll see what it's like after. But then the other thing we want to do is get some bees. And if you look behind me right here, there is this big opening. So we're at the very top of the pasture right now. And I think I want to put some beehives right in there. So we're on the other side of this tree line. This direction is the train tracks through Damien's gate there. And that direction's the river. So there's nothing up here. And then past those, you have over a mile of cemetery and trees before you get to the next property. So that, I'm thinking, is probably great. There's a lot of flowers over there for the bees to get. We'll plant flowers up here. And they'll be down this valley that kind of keeps them out of the wind that comes ripping through here. But let me show you something else beautiful. This is Hidden Hollow. So if you want to know why we call it Hidden Hollow, this hollow, the ground dips from that hill, comes back up here, and it continues back up behind me. That's a little hollow in the ground right there. It's hidden by all these trees beautifully, and all this cleared terraced property. It's where we do everything. So there's the house and the chicken coops and the old dilapidated mobile that needs to get torn down, Damien's shed, the camper. It's all right out here in the middle of that hollow. So it's just beautiful up here. My wife's down there walking around looking at stuff. And yeah, you can really see how well our drainage works, how it's terraced. It's a 4-layer terrace that runs down into that front tree line. There's a shallow pond right about there, and then a creek that runs all the way out that brings in all the water to it, as well as in this direction towards train tracks. So it's kind of how our property lays out. But yeah, I definitely think we'll be able to put the bees up here. They shouldn't be bothered by the train. And if we get them set back far enough into the wood there, they shouldn't have much wind to deal with either, which should be good for them. And they'll be out of the way of everything. Because we do like coming up here, you know, looking around everything. I did find some clays. So somebody was out here at some point in history shooting clays as well, which is cool. Because I want to. And I just wasn't sure what that was going to look like. I don't know how far the shot will go. So I'll walk back down here to my wife since the wind's calmed down a little bit before I go clean up and start working on figuring out what I'm going to do in this vehicle situation. Alrighty, so this is an app that we are trying this season called Seed Time. And looking at here, you can see all sorts of things. So let me kind of start. So we have these colored sections here. You can see a darker blue here, and it gets lighter down here. So these are our expected frost dates. So up to right here for April 13th being our last expected frost, and the 31st I think was our last hard frost of the year here. So when you set up this app, so here, come in here, you're going to tell it your growing zone, your location, and your expected freeze dates, so that the app knows how to formulate all these changes. Calendar. This is a free app. Just app.seedtime.us. And this is what my wife has gone through and gotten put in here. So this tells us, for example, our Brussels sprouts here. So we're going to start those theoretically on February 9th. Our Brussels sprout, we're doing a Catskill Long Island improved Brussels sprout. And it's telling me right here that I'm going to seed those this week. And then they'll be down here somewhere where we will bed prepare right there. So that's when we're getting the ground ready to put them in the ground. So this is starting them in the planting trays like we're doing. This is preparing to put them in the ground. And, or is that when they actually go into the ground? Yeah, it must be, because there's cultivate. So, yeah, so this is when they're going into the ground right here.
No, cultivate is transferring them into the ground.
Okay, so this is where we're going to put them into the ground, cultivating?
Yes.
And then, so harvesting them will be down here somewhere?
Yep.
As you see, there's a lot going on here. How many plants do you have in here this year?
There's 34 in there right now, and we bought 3 more today.
So we're harvesting the Brussels sprouts in June. We our first harvest of those guys down here.
Yeah.
So.
And if you go up and put January back, you can see that the stuff that's already been started, you can mark as complete.
Done in January.
Just give it a minute.
All right, so yeah, so these onions, these got seeded and started, which is the ones that we have in the greenhouse right now. Parsley is due already, currently.
We bought the pods for that.
We just bought pods for that today. So, yeah, that is our seed time that we're trying out this year. And kind of an outline of all the things I've always got to do, and the reason we're definitely going to need to get a greenhouse here in very short order. So
peppers and tomatoes just kind of go on forever.
Yeah, it looks like we're harvesting our peppers and tomatoes right up until the first frost of the year, which is theoretically October 23rd. So, yeah, that'll be our seed calendar. So like I was saying with seed time, my wife got her garden stuff started. This greenhouse, it's currently in the space that'll be our bathroom, but it's a closet right now for thankfully not much longer. So. But for now, this is a little greenhouse that we had, and these are our onions in here, and they're looking great. They're huge. So those are started in here. These are the another greenhouse kit that she just got to start some more stuff in here. So she starts more plants this week. Some more seeds on the bed, and then she's got this basil that she started over. She's making a bunch of muffins right now, but the basil's looking really good in these cool little seed pods. Any thoughts on the basil?
Looks great. We're going to start parsley probably today in those as well. I like the pods for the herbs. You want to show them what you want here? I love to use fresh herbs, and we bought these planters last year. So we're gonna put all of our herbs in these planters, and he's gonna put some more around the porch. But this is, we'll just be able to transfer those little pods in here, and the casings will it's biodegrade in the soil. So it'll be real, the herbs will be really close. You can't have none, Luna. No herbs for you.
So that'll be super convenient. And let me show you some of the other things that we are working on right now. So I'm really excited that I talked to a gentleman about some septic stuff last week. And unfortunately, he wasn't able to make it out here this week to give us some information, some estimates on a couple of things. But we, I'm going to have some money here shortly, hopefully, to do some pretty big projects other than some work that has to be done on the Suburban, replace my car. We're going to be able to get the pantry done, get that bathroom installed, and get our septic solution installed. And once we get a look at that, I'll know for sure. But right now it's looking like we're going to be able to get on the cheaper end on that, than a lot cheaper than I thought. So the quote I was given was going to be like $5,500 to get a septic put in out here. So hopefully we're going to be able to get out from under that. Big old boy, looking super handsome. Yeah. I'm just coming out here to give the chickens some corn, because I went and bought them corn just to add to their diet. And we got the 3 little girls over here. There is Blue and Hussein and Usain, sorry, Miss Bolt and Pepper. Who Pepper unfortunately was having an issue where she was Hawk, my rooster's favorite, and he tore up her back pretty bad, pulling feathers out and mounting her and whatnot. So she got moved over here. The rest of the girls are here. So we're also almost at the point. So something that we do is called deep bedding with our chickens, where we are basically not over winter removing any of their anything from their coop. So we use a combination of straw and wood chips for their bedding in both of these coops, and we don't remove it throughout the winter. Instead, just add more to it as we go, so that it adds a layer of insulation and warmth or whatever to them. Then we'll be buying a wheelbarrow in the next couple weeks, so we can actually haul that into the garden. We'll spread all that stuff across the garden, and then we'll go in there and I'll mix it up really well with the tiller into the ground, and that'll be our prepped seed bed. So like I said, we'll be able to hopefully get started on a lot of these projects here pretty soon. One of the bigger ones is going to be a greenhouse. We haven't decided indefinitely what we're doing yet, but we are leaning towards purchasing one of the soft side greenhouses that they sell at Atwood's. It's made by the same manufacturer as our tent that we use for a garage, which has been a great garage, so I'm okay with purchasing that to use for that use. And if the plastic on it ends up getting tore up, which is my concern with them, then I can put plastic on the side of it, so hard plastic. But other things that we're planning to do here in the near future, we have a lot of projects and things coming up that take up weekends and whatnot for the next month almost, before it'll really be nice out again. So we're about a month out from these projects. We're gonna get siding on the house, then we're gonna get siding's gonna go up, trim's gonna go up, the downspouts and gutters will go on the house, and that'll all go into water tanks. The greenhouse is going to end up out there by where Jerky's pen is right now, so where the garden used to be. He'll be moved probably further back, honestly. But that's going to get put in. Septic's hopefully going to get run the way we think it's going to work, and we'll be able to put a bathroom in the house. We'll be able to finish out the pantry, get a hot water heater in there. Just all the last few little creature comfort things, and then really getting the house finished. I'm also probably going to be doing railing all the way around the porch. Not yet putting up the actual roof on the porch, unfortunately, but getting the railing on here so that I can hang boxes all the way around for more herbs and things like that, flowers and stuff. We're definitely still working towards getting bees to go up the top of the hill there. And that's really all the big things going on right now. So we'll get another video here together before too much longer with getting seeds started and things like that. Yeah, that's what we got going on right now. So I'm going to cut this off here, and I will catch you guys next time. Thanks for joining me here at Hidden Hollow Homestead. Bye.